The following video was recorded on stolen Aboriginal land.
Thank you, everyone. I might just start that again. I'd like to welcome you all to the Community Disability Alliance Hunters Annual General Meeting for 2023. My name's Dave Belcher. I'll be acting as a bit of the MC for this meeting. And so we'll kick it off with just acknowledging that we have quorum here today. So that means the quorum for Cdah's AGM is 10 members, Cdah members, and we do have that here today. So well done everybody for being here, for those in person and those online. Thank you very much. I'd also just like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land that we're meeting here today, the Awabakal people, and I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and just acknowledge that this always will be unceded land. And thank you, Andrew. And we'd also obviously like to acknowledge all Indigenous people who are present here today. Okay, so our first point on the agenda today is a President's Report. So with that in mind, do we have a President's Report that we can read out on behalf of our President Christie?
The annual report.
I can read that. I can read from that if people are happy for me to do so. Aaron's going to do it?
Yeah.
Going to do that.
Great, thank you, Aaron. Do you want to step up here, please?
Yes.
Just explain that Christie's got COVID.
Sure. So for those that aren't aware, our President Christie Cdah Agm unfortunately can't be here tonight. She is unwell with COVID. So in her place, we've got Erin, our fantastic Vice President, to read Christie's report on her behalf. Thanks, Erin.
Christie has sent her apology for not being here tonight. The report is, I think you can help me with this.
I'm the dyslexic assistant. Literally.
I heard the other part of the leader, the organization for another year. I would like to thank the wonderful staff members for their incredible hard work this year. And on behalf of the board, I thank you. The board has been working very hard the past year. Our goal has been to create an inclusive organisation that is professional but never forgetting that we are adults with community or individual that want to make life a bit easier and be fair for one another. The board has been busy making sure a policy including gender governance policy and procedure are updated. We have been working hard on a new constitution, and we help better reflect the organization that Cdah is now. We have moved into a more spacious office. We will help in our goals. The most exciting thing, however, in our youth venture, the Disability Co-op, or DISPO, will allow us to make Cdah self-sufficient and not not hard to rely on months on dance funding. I think we are going to do day fee, and I can't wait to see the net tester.
Christy.
Tasty.
Thank you. Well done, Erin. The next item on tonight's agenda is the minutes of the previous general meeting. And so in that, what we do is those that have had a look over the previous minutes, we are now going to vote on whether or not they are a true, accurate reflection of what happened at that last meeting. So if anyone that was there at the last meeting and feels that they are the true minutes of that meeting, would you like to raise your hand and say that they be moved, please? So if you're at the last AGM, Erin? Yep, thank you. And do we have a seconder, someone else that agrees? Douglas? Yeah, Douglas, okay, thank you. Okay, so with Erin, moved by Erin, seconded by Douglas. All those in favour, just say aye. 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 Okay, with that, all those against, sorry? No, okay, I declare that passed. Thank you. Okay, so next up we have our 2022-2023 financial report. Do we have a treasurer that can speak to...
It's on Zoom.
Sorry?
The auditor is on Zoom.
The auditor is on Zoom. Sorry, would you like to introduce yourself and just take us through the financial report, please?
Sure, happy to. My name is Judy Brown. I'm the Managing Director of Brown Auditing Services. We specialise in assisting for-purpose organisations like yours that better explain your results to funding bodies to help you maintain the level of funding that you need to receive to do the fantastic work that you do each year. This year was it was also a cracker of a year, which is really good. We did have a surplus of $190,000, which we're going to be able to keep. According to the funding bodies, which is an excellent result. We spent slightly less on our admin this year, which helped us offset the slightly less income that we actually received. Some of our programs came to an end this year, so there was slightly less money left in the kitty, but an excellent result. We did have an increased amount of creditors at the end of the year. That was mainly because we seem to be utilising the opportunity to pay them after their due date instead of before their due date, which means it keeps more money in the bank for us, which increases our interest income, which is really, really good. We didn't really spend any money this year on assets such as computers or office furniture, which was really good. But we will be reviewing it next year to make sure that all of our equipment is the most up to date. Computers are really funny things. They can either last 5 years or 5 minutes. So we need to make sure we keep up with the quality level there. So it'd be a great idea to have what we call a capital budget. There were no issues at all with your internal controls. Everything seems to be working really, really well. We're holding $1.2 million of government funding ready for coming years. I didn't have anybody actually send any questions through, so I'm not too sure if anybody had any technical questions for me.
I'm happy to open up to the floor just to check. Does anybody have any questions to the auditor about our financials at all? Feel free to ask them. No, it appears not. Thank you. Please continue.
That has given us the ability to have what's called an unqualified auditor's report, which is a clean auditor's report. So congratulations, guys, for a fantastic year. You've done well. Fine.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Now we actually have to move that the auditor's report and financials are adopted. So would anybody like to move that they are adopted? Please just raise your hand and say your name, please. Billy, thank you, Billy.
Stephen Harmony here.
Seconded by...
Treasurer Cdah, I so move.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. So we've moved by Billy, seconded by Stephen. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
All those,
Aye.
all those against say no. Okay, with that, I declare it carried. Well done. Thank you. Okay, so our next item on the agenda is just the results of the special general meeting that was held earlier today in regards to changes to the Constitution. And for that, I'm going to ask Douglas to say a few words. Thank you, Doug.
Thanks, Dave. My name is Douglas Holmes. I'm the outgoing secretary, and I was also the chairperson of the Constitution Working Group. Today we actually had a special general meeting that we had 18 members actually participate in. They were asked to do two things, and you'll see up on the whiteboard there. The first thing was to accept the table document known as the Cdah Constitution to bring Cdah up to date with current legislation, and that passed unanimously. I'm happy to elaborate on what the new 27-page document is, but Andrew is over there with the stopwatch and he's given me 75 seconds, right? The second motion, which was also passed unanimously by the 18 members in the room, and we had a number of observers, was to accept the recommendation from the Cdah board to extend Christie's tenure on the board. Under the old constitution, she'd been there for 3 terms of 2 years, which is 6 years, and we needed to, the board put forward a motion that we had to go to the members, which we did, and so Christie is now definitely in the running for renomination on when we come up later in the AGM. But for me personally, it was very rewarding. We'd spent nearly 3 years on bringing this constitution up to date, and the reason it took so long was that in 2022, Department of Fair Trading had actually passed new legislations where we had to incorporate a number of changes to stay up to date. So that's just there, and if you need the minutes, Caitlin will have copies of those that could be circulated.
Thanks, Doug. I think we should all just take a moment. The amount of work that Douglas and a number of people in the working group put into establishing and working on this constitution has been very significant over a number of years. So I think we should all give Doug a round of applause on behalf of the Cdah community. Well done, Doug. Thank you. Okay, so next up is our illustrious leader, Executive Officer Andrew Vodick's report. Thank you. It's the only time you're going to be saying something nice.
That coming from a politician doesn't fill me with any great hope. Thanks, Dave. I'd also like to add my congratulations, particularly to Douglas, on the work on the previous meeting. It's amazing how a 55-minute meeting doesn't quite sum up years and years of incredible work. I'm only standing because there isn't another chair here. There you go, there's one behind me. Just right here. Get one, Dave. That's better. Been a long day. Okay, I'm not going to read my report because it was a bit boring writing it, let alone reading it. I just really like to highlight a couple of things that really came out of last year that are in my scant report, and that is the groundwork that started on DISCO, which is the Disability Cooperative or Disability Co. We haven't quite come to terms on what that's going to look like, but that idea of peers becoming cultural change consultants out in the main workforce. So much groundwork was done on that during last year, and lots of people have really invested so much in it. And just a shout out to Dave, because I sort of got up one morning and started on some crazy journey about how we could do this, and you're about the only person that really believed in it at the start. So 2 people, there you go. That's how you start a movement, isn't it? So yeah, so that was really cool. And Douglas, I think you were also one of the very early adopters of it too. So, but anyway, it's getting there, and I think from going forward, it's a bit of a watch this space. One of the things that really came out of last year that I was really excited about, and it was a bit of a leap of faith for all of us, and that was spilling our membership, and for the first time actually making it that CHAH members needed to renew their membership annually. And I know that may seem like an annoying task to have to do, but it is so much steeped in the concept of voice, choice and control. If we collect members who don't know that they're a member, or joined something 8 years ago and don't have any choice about whether they're still a member, we don't know if we're doing well or not. And so as an organisation that is based on its members, the idea that every year you get to make your decision about whether you still want to be part of this, and that's the real true barometer of whether we're going in the right direction. So please keep being a member, because I'll feel bad if you don't. So, but it really is. I think it's just, and thanks to the board for that, because it was such a leap of faith to say, well, we had 300 members, now we've got 145. Are we doing something wrong? No, we're not. We're actually being honest. And I'd rather have 145 members who want to be here than 300 members who don't know they're here. So to me, I think that's a huge part. Just one thing two things I'd love to very quickly touch on. One is the work of the MAG. Once again, Douglas, it's like the Douglas show tonight. It's just a thanks to Douglas in particular for all the work that you've done in coordinating the MAG. During COVID and over all those times when people weren't turning up, now that Susie's taking on the role of coordinating the MAG, I think it's been, it's come from really safe hands back into other safe hands. So, and I just think that it's just a nice next chapter of that. And once again, the MAG, being the Members Action Group, is that voice of all of our peers. It is such a grassroots approach that says every member of this organisation has the right to have a say in all the issues and actions that they'd like to see the organisation take. So, tread lightly in that space, because it's such a really important space for any grassroots organisation to hold. Disability Royal Commission and the NDIS review. Once again, thank you to all of our members and all the members of the disability community who bravely submitted their stories to the Disability Royal Commission and to the NDIS review. We know of the many recommendations that have come out of that. The proof will be in the government's response to that, which Dave's going to talk to a little bit later. Those responses is where it really hits the road. So we know that we have recommendations, but it's what happens next that's really important. So anyway, just a big thanks, and that's been a big part of CHAH's journey over the last few years as well. One other thing I really wanted to talk about was just to thank a few people, which I'm not thanking Douglas because I've done that enough. But just thank you essentially to our members more than anybody, because as a member-led organisation, it's what we do. Thank you to everybody that holds me to account in my job. I can't do my job without being told how to do it by everybody, and you all do a really good job of that. To all of our allies and all of the staff at CHAH, we've got a crackerjack team of really good, dedicated people around the traps here who just do amazing work, and Jared. It took me 15 minutes to load that. It was so worth it. No, Jared, you do a great job too. But no, it's a great team, but our membership is incredibly pivotal to what we do. The interpreters who put up with us all the time, because we get it wrong all the time, but we really care, and we just really thank you so much for all that you do. our board and Douglas, because you've been thanked a lot, Douglas. What the board does is amazing. It's just that, as I said earlier in the previous meeting, the board's role is a difficult role because you're not paid for it, and you are, in the end, responsible for the overseeing of good governance in the organisation, and that's not to be sneezed at. And so, once again, thank you very much to the board, and thanks to the board for their faith in some of the directions that we're taking. So I'm sure there's people I've forgotten. I would like to thank Judy, our auditor, for doing a great job of what we do and keeping us on the rails. Kate, our wonderful public officer, and just basically all the allies that support CHAH on our journey. So, and if I've forgotten anybody, I'm sure I have, and you can sort of get stuck into me for it later. Okay, thank you all very much. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Andrew. Just following on from Andrew, so we're coming up now to the part of the agenda, which is the election of board members. But before I do that, just to reiterate what Andrew said, I think it should be, I'd love for us to all give this last 12 months board members a big round of applause for the work that they've done, the time they've contributed. So thank you very, very much. As Andrew said, these organisations only exist when there is a good, dedicated board in place. I've seen it very, very often that organisations like CHAH crumble when the board is not united and all pushing in the one direction and all committed to the values of the organisation. So definitely thank you very much to our board over the last 12 months. But having said that, we do have a spill, meaning that the new board has to be elected. And so, do we have a returning officer? I'm hoping we do. Probably not. Can you? Yep. Okay, I'm going to ask Cdah to come up and do the returning officer. So the role of the returning officer is basically to run the part of run the election on our behalf. So Cdah, being an ally, is in a perfect position to do that for us. So thank you, Cdah.
Well, so firstly, all the board members resign. That's the normal procedure. And because there are less nominations than we have positions, we don't need to have an election tonight. I think that's... so the people that are nominated are Douglas, Billy, Aaron, Christy, Stephen, and Sam. But I think you were a little bit late with your nomination form, so you can fill a casual vacancy next month.
What about Enya?
Enya, sorry.
No, Enya didn't need.
Oh, you didn't need to renominate because you had a 2-year tenure. Is that right?
No.
Sorry, I should have been more...
I'm the rule Nazi. Anya was elected as a member for the board last year, and her term is 2 years. And so she didn't need to resign as the rest of us did. And with the casual vacancies, we will actually have 2 or 3, and we'll be asking people to put their names forward, and we already have 2 names that are from people that are interested, and that will be considered at the December meeting by the full board. And you'll be invited to the February one, because we don't meet in January, but you'll be invited to the February meeting, and there'll be an orientation pack that we'll go through.
So we're not having an election, and all the nominations will be accepted automatically. And thanks everyone for nominating. Wonderful.
Thank you. So before we do the clap, I'll just read those, just officially, just read out our 2023-2024 board members. So we've got Douglas, Billy, Erin, Christy, Stephen, Sam, and Enya. So congratulations to our board.
board member yet.
Okay. Sam's not a board member yet, but she will be. Congratulations, everyone else. Thanks, Doug. Okay. Thank you. A little bit clunky, but we got there in the end. I'm now going to hand you over to Kate, our public officer, to say a few words, apparently. You're on the list, mate, so...
Surprise, I didn't know that I was going to talk. Anyway, it's a pleasure to be here and to see some faces that I haven't seen in a very long time, and I feel really privileged to be the public officer and be quietly in the background, making sure that you follow the rules and we don't all get arrested for fraud or anything like that. Hey, what an important job. And congratulations on an amazing year. Like Disco, the board just killing it. Yeah, very, very happy to be among you. So congratulations on a good year and hurrah for the next one, hey?
Thanks,
Is that all I need to say?
Yep, thanks, Kate. Thank you. Okay, thanks, everyone. We're pretty close to the end of this because, we've got champagne and food and stuff awaiting. Douglas, that's my writing on the back.
Oh, you?
Yeah, I read that.
You did read out, Stephen, didn't you?
Yeah. Just around announcements, just a few things that are upcoming. So we'll be organising a bit of a watch party later on in about 2 weeks' time for the Minister for the NDIS, Bill Shorten, will be speaking at the National Press Club. We're pretty sure it'll be about the government's response to the Disability Royal Commission and the review into the NDIS. Now, there was some interest in the Disability Royal Commission from members over the last couple of weeks or so, and so we thought it'd be a good idea to basically host a bit of a watch party, meaning we're going to put the National Press Club address on the screen that we've got here today with us. People can come in and watch it with their peers, and we can sort of either celebrate or commiserate together, depending on...
Popcorn on the TV.
Well, you can bring the popcorn, Erin. That'd be fantastic. So that's just an invitation there. Jared will be sending out invites via our social media posts and emails in the next day or so to invite people along to that, but certainly encouraging people to engage with that. Obviously, after that response, CHAH will produce some sort of response to what has been said. So whatever the recommendations are, good, bad or ugly, we will have a response about where CHAH sits in our positioning around that. Even though we're doing announcements, I'd just like to sort of take a bit of time and having been involved with CHAH for a number of years now, pretty close to 10, I think, in different capacities, it's really hit home this week, more so than most, just how much this organisation has grown in the last 2 years. We've come out of COVID pretty rattled, to be honest with you. We were all pretty down and pretty frightened. We'd kind of gone into a bit of a shell of an organisation, and to see us grow and flourish and really make huge bounds in the last 2 years has been really something to behold. I saw yesterday and today real leaders within the disability community in this building, and that's just a phenomenal example and a way that CHAH is contributing to our community, right? We're building leaders. Everyone in here is a leader of their community, and you're helping other leaders grow as well, and that's something to be applauded. So give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you. Does anybody else have any announcement about upcoming events or opportunities with CHAH in the next couple of weeks leading into Christmas? We've got Douglas and then Jared, and then we'll see how we go.
Next Thursday, which I believe is the 30th of November, at 10 o'clock, we're doing a workshop on pathways for disco. So if anybody has any ideas, this is the time to actually bring them into the mix.
Yep. 10:30, I believe, Doug. So that's great. Thank you for that. Jared, is that what you wanted to talk about as well? Yep, that's okay, great. So all those that can make the 10:30 on the 30th, bit of an info session around disco, all those questions that you're asking around it, we'll do our best to answer on that day. Any other things? Yes, Enya?
I thought I would share, I don't know how many people here know about it, but we've got a new group up and coming, Next Gen, which is for people aged 18 through to 25. So if you've got anyone who might be interested, we've got an information session and some activities on the 1st of December. So keep an eye out for that.
Well done, Enya. That's great. Fantastic. Awesome. Yes.
That's the most important thing.
Yes, that's a good point. Yep, thank you. So Jared's just reminded me to say, do not forget the Christmas party. The Wico Hotel is our destination. The rest of the details are escaping me right now. 12 o'clock on the 8th. So 12 p.m, 8th of December at the Wickham Hotel. We'd love to see you all there. It'd be great to celebrate a fantastic 12 months and catch up with some peers. So invite all your mates along to that. That'll be a really good day. So
People do need to book.
preferable to book, thank you. So we can do that via RSVP, sending through to info and events. That'd be great.
Events at Cdah.
Events at Cdah.
There's a Humanitics link to.
And there's a Humanitics link which will be
It's on the website.
posted on the website and is on Facebook page as well. Yes. Okay, all right, I think that's enough event stuff. Stay tuned to all our social media stuff though. We've got heaps of stuff coming up over the next couple of weeks. And thank you all for your attendance at the AGM. Thank you.